affects, pushes the way they think and look at other Muslims.
But hadith said
I was just asking me, do you have any experience, anything?
Yeah, but it doesn't describe what they are. Just the one following Muhammad and his companions. That's all what it says.
So someone was saying, parts of it's fabricated or this and that.
Maybe some parts, but it doesn't give any further prescription. So anyone can claim to be the same sect, and everyone can claim that the others are not so. But I can't change, yeah. Also the victorious sect, or the dominant sect, which is related to Ijma also. A group of the Ummah will be also on the truth.
We covered that in Ijma.
Yeah. And whoever let them down will not affect them and so on. Who are they? Everyone claims to be that one. So it doesn't. All it says there's a group like that. So there'll be no Ijma on Batil, fine. Or on Kufr, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. But otherwise, who is specifically this one? Everyone can blabber whatever he wants. It's a metaphysical statement related to Ijma'. Not that any group can claim to be. And also the 73 misguided sects are the only one on the what that Prophet and his companions were. Again, everyone can claim whatever he wants. Although this is much better in the sense that it says clearly what the Prophet was and the companion at his time. ما كان عليه أنا اليوم, today, and my companion today. So everyone can measure, because what the Prophet and the companion were today at that time, they are very well established major points, which are well established by Tawatur and so on. So if someone is not conforming to that, then he is not one of the, then he doesn't deserve this description. That's slightly better in that. But then there will be many ijtihadi issues, many points and so on. So, for example, if the Salafi, it's called scholarly Salafi, comes and says, okay, the Prophet and his companions, they were busy with jihad and fighting. So many battle campaigns. You have fought nowhere, so you are not on that. That major part is missing from your life. So you are not definite. You don't fill the description. Another one who is just busy with jihad but does not do any scholarly work and so on. You cannot be that, because the Sahaba were busy also in the halaqah of Rasulullah. They were exchanging. One is absent, the other one is present in his behalf. And the core companion were striving to memorize as much Quran as possible after learning the meaning and so on, and get as much sunnah as they can and write it down. You are not doing that. You are not doing that, so it doesn't fit on you. So you can. Or whoever claims, you will find fault on him, essentially. So don't claim that you are from the right sect, which is not the hellfire. You may be one of the hellfire ones.
Well, what is, in Arabic, what is a sect? How's like people say, it's not groups and stuff. So
it says firqa, division of the ummah.
It's to do with like a belief or aqidah.
Or fundamental issues which are well established beyond doubt. It's not a matter of ijtihad. Or some issues of behavior, like major issues like jihad, like mu'ala, like if someone lacking one of the major things, sorry, you are not one of them, because you are not that on the state with the Prophet and his companion were at that time. When he said that, he said definitely in Medina, later in Medina, so they were involved in jihad, they were collecting zakat, they were establishing state, they were establishing hudud. If you are not having all of that, then you are not on that state. You have some deficiency, then you may be one of these sects. There's another interpretation that these 73 with the hellfire are actually the one outfold of the Islam. All the one infold of Islam is on that one. So that because all Muslims agree on the fundamentals of Islam. So that's only the kafir groups, or atheists, communists, Christian, Jews, etc. That's also a possible point. But then the ummah means the ummah of address, not the ummah of fellowship. So you have this one. So it's open to interpretation. It doesn't help anyone except people who want to give themselves great labels, and then just waste their life in labeling themselves and the others. That's it, instead of doing something positive.
There's an inherent danger in this, because the Prophet ﷺ, he warned us against falling into the trap of making the same mistake as the Yahud and Nasara.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is exactly the same thing which they did.
Exactly.
Branding the other heretic, saying that we are the ones who are going to heaven, we're the chosen people.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then it just ends on a downward spiral.
Absolutely, that's it. So this is all is not going to it doesn't have much benefit. But the Salafis are known for that. The best thing is just to show their faults. Show how much jihad did you perform. You did not perform any jihad. The most these government Salafi, Saudi Salafi, did not. Your Saudi state never fought against the kuffar. Never, ever. Fought only against Muslim Turks and so on. You declare them to be kafir, but your declaration is faulty. That's very clear. Maybe few persons may be kafir, but not the whole people of Istanbul, the whole people of Damascus, the whole people of Kufa, the whole people of Basra can't be like wholesale. Push that door, yeah. So, conclusion, you are lacking in the category of jihad. So you are not in the same state as Sahaba. So how do you know that you are not one of these 72 bad ones? The one who neglected jihad.
Is this hadith in like the major collections?
Yeah, in some of the major collections, yeah. But not of the strongest and nicest that you can rely on. So, it's controversial anyway, so. No, but that is obviously someone who wants to justify himself will get you some stories like that. That's it. But doesn't get anybody anywhere. It's relatively, it's either philosophical that they will be part of the ummah who are always dominant and they will not bother if someone is against them, and they will be always establishing the deen zahirin, evident and clear. Who are they? We don't know, but they are a part, meaning there will be no ijma' on kufr. That's the other side of it. This is evidence of ijma', yes, this is an evidence of ijma' in that sense. So is this the negative side of the other story? Allah protect my ummah from agreeing on dalala. Dalala will be then in that case kufr. If we agree dalala on the minimum meaning of dalala, that's deviation from Islam, taking up to the fold of Islam, then there will be no agreement. And the other hadith supporter, which is sahih, then the one which is, there will be a group of ummah always dominant on the haqq. Even if they are let down by the others, they will not be bothered by them. So in time past, people of hadith said it's the people of hadith. And other people say, no, it's the people of ilm al-kalam, because they are defending Islam and on rational grounds. Everyone can claim whatever. So no, it's actually the jihadis and the mujahideen in the front, because they are fighting with the sword for it. Could be part here. Yeah. And the most scholars say it does not need to be even an organized group. Maybe some people are in Samarkand, other people in Tanja, another people in Islamabad, another people maybe in Allahabad in India, part of this. This is just a group. It's an organized group with under a leader. They may be scattered all over. Some of them may be business people. So that's what Ibn Taymiyyah and others said. Some may be farmer, other may be people of commerce, other people of war, other people of government, and other people of scholarship. Across the ummah of all his classes and income groups and professional groups, which is the most reasonable one, and so on. So it doesn't help. That's what I claim. Otherwise, everyone can open his mouth that big, but evidences, big mouths are easy, but real evidences are dear. Real persuasive, rationally defensible evidence are rare.
That'd be a good video to make. That'd be a good video.
Yeah, we could do a video of that. But we'll get all the narration and criticize them, and that says even if they are valid, then what can you conclude from that? Not very much. Anyone concluding for himself is in danger of self-tazkiyah, purification, which by the Quran clearly prohibited. لا تزكوا أنفسكم هو أعلم. Don't purify, don't declare yourself to be pure. Allah knows, Allah purifies whoever He wants, and He knows who is really the pure ones. Anyone purifying himself is in a mortal danger, just bordering on the abyss.
Claiming purity.
Yeah, claiming purity. Tazkiyah.
It can lead to khuruj as well.
Yeah.
Become khawarij.
That's what it's the khawarij.
That's their effective, right?
Yeah, that's the disease of the khawarij. They admire themselves. He described various things. تعجبهم أنفسهم. They go extreme in ibadah and so on, and they're admired by the people and they admire themselves. Admired by the people is not a problem, but it could become an infectious disease. They admire themselves. That's.
How would one describe? I mean, obviously, because typically when talking about Khawarij, one always, now in today's world, we would envisage the typical Salafi or.
They have a Khawarij traits. No doubt.
This is true. However, how would one also? I mean, could the same traits apply, for example, to Sufis? Because a lot of them...
Oh yeah, some Shia who declare the other to be kafir also, yeah.
Not only this, they display the same trait of, you know what I mean? Look at us, we are the ones who are on the right manhaj, this is the correct way.
That's not a Khawarij trait. It becomes pure Khawarij if he says the other one on the outside the manhaj is a kafir. Then it is genuine Khawarij. That's the genuine definition of the narrow definition of Khawarij. But all others are having a Khawarij feature.
And then again, what are the kind of the limits really of? Okay, of course, in Takfir is a whole other topic in itself, but the boundaries of because when you basically declare like a whole other group to be kafir or something, because I don't know. I mean, like again, I haven't come across it myself, but for example, what's his name? You know, the guy from Berkeley, Hamid Al-Ghar.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's recently written something which basically is saying that the Wahhabis are kuffar.
Yeah, this again, he's being sucked in a semi-Khawarij trap. So, yeah, you cannot say the Wahhabis are wholesale kuffar.
I haven't read it myself, but basically, when I was talking with this,
you have to read it carefully. This may be a scholarly work. We say this is violating a fundamental principle of Islam and so on.
He did write basically some paper, but basically the conclusion of it is that these are outside the problem.
Again, the conclusion, saying that the conclusion of that what the guy said is unfair until he makes the conclusion. Maybe he was not aware. Maybe if he's made aware about that, he will go back and correct his mistake, which led to that conclusion. If it is coming by necessity, and that's the reason that all reliable scholars said the result of the statement or the conclusion from a statement cannot be attributed to the one who said the original statement because it's unfair, maybe because he did not notice it, or mentally he did not see that this follows by necessity. But if you show him that follows by necessity, then he will step back and go back to his premises to find the fault.
Dig it out, I guess.
By necessity. So it is. So they say it is unfair to attribute the conclusion of a statement to the one who made the statement. You can attribute to him only his clear definite statement. The conclusion, say your statement has this conclusion, but you did not notice, possibly did not notice it. Do you say it, or you don't say it? Like for example, when we said, you remember when we were discussing Tawheed, those who were attending Tawheed, we said, for example, ultimately, since we have developed qat'i, proofs that the previous Sharia must be abrogated, qat'i, the conclusion is only one say the previous Sharia are not abrogated is a kafir then. But does it mean Abu Hanifa is a kafir? No way. It never came in his mind. But this is the conclusion of his statement. Because it contradicts some necessity of Islam. And we gave an example of the Japanese who said, what do you mean the Sharia of Musa is still valid for me? I'm not from the people of Musa. I was not even addressed by him the first place. I had another Sharia at the time. How can it be valid for me now? Finish. You have absolute contradiction. There's no way you can get out. Turn it right, left here, there's no way you can get out of it. So if he thought this way, he would have concluded it can't be. It will contradict fundamentally that the Prophet is sent to all mankind. And the fact that Musa is sent only for Bani Israel and Pharaoh and few other people, definitely not to all mankind, with this certitude.
I've got to put my activist hat on. Who's this geezer? Is he prominent?
No, he's a very, very respectable scholar and so on.
You know,
but that doesn't mean...
one stone. If you wanted to go.
No, Ibn Taymiyyah, for example, who is more famous and more important, said, for example, the common Shia are not kafir, but their scholars are kafir. Because the common are excused by ignorance. Well, scholars are excused by ta'wil. So he missed that point. His conclusion is that ta'wil, that a scholar, is not permitted to make a mistake of judgment. If he makes a mistake of judgment, he is kafir. Or he's wrong, which is not correct again.
What is the general? Because obviously we are familiar with.
And we can go back to himself and also to his Sheikh Ahmad bin Hanbal, show that there are very nasty errors of judgment there.
Sheikh, to build your ideas in the form of a brand, if you address this Sheikh politely, and you address the Salafi 73 sect mentality.
Yeah, we can do that videos. I mean, that's just to stress the general principle. If someone claims this group of people they are not kafir, you could say this statement is a statement of kufr, but the common people are excused because they are ignorant. But the scholars are also excused because they have a ta'wil. There's a shubha in their mind which made them make a mistake there.
The only alternative would be that I know that this is a wrong opinion and I'm sticking with it.
We don't know that's in their heart, but that's we can. And then many scholars, if you confront them that the result of their statement is definitely contradicting some fundamental principles of Sharia or some fundamental principles of reason, they will step back. They would step back and say, well, there must be some, in my point of view, there must be some error. Where is the error? Is maybe a misunderstanding of the language. Maybe I regarded some hadith to be correct and they are not correct. Maybe I did not do the proper conclusion. In my deduction, I made a mistake. And he will admit that. That's the way to go. Not only the way academically, but also the way psychologically. Because if you tell someone, you said that statement, but that statement, the result will be by necessity this. Like, for example, when the Christians say, you Muslims say that God cannot have a real son. You say because the necessarily existing being cannot be split or so on. There's no meaning of son except that something of you goes to a woman or goes somewhere and produce something else. If it is not part of you, it's created, then it is not a son. It's just an adopted son. So we are discussing adopted son. Maybe discuss is the word permissible or not, but we don't care about that. The real son, divine, as you say in the Nicene Creed, that is a true God from true God, existing before times, not created but begotten, mawlud, but not created. So this is impossible. They say no, it's not impossible for the power of Allah. So okay, then Allah could disappear and being go out of existence in the faith. By necessity, if a necessarily existing being can split, it can disappear, so can't die. So he's eternal and not eternal at the same time, and reason will collapse. So what you are saying and what you're saying, all are valid. Yawm al-Qiyamah say, well, all are right because you created our reason accepting contradictions. This way you show the conclusion of their statement lead to an absolute contradiction. Cannot be accepted.
It's the same like the typical argument about can God create a...
Yeah. No, it can't. It can't because this is not accessible to power. Power is not limited, but power relates only to rational logical possibilities, not to rational logical impossibilities. That's different than from physical possibilities. Physical possibilities are related to the universe. Maybe something is physically impossible, but it's rationally possible. For example, as we said in the case of the Book of Tawheed also, turning the stick of Musa into a snake immediately. This is not possible within the scheme in the universe. No power in the universe can do that according to physical law. But a stick is a possible existence. A snake is a possible existence. A stick is a contingent being. It can disappear and the snake appear in place out of nowhere by divine power, yes, but not by physical means. So it's physically impossible, but it is rationally conceivable. Because that exists and both are contingent. So they can come in existence, go out of existence, a complicated process, or immediately by a sufficient power of an infinite being. And that's exactly what happened for Musa. So that's possible for the divine power because it's rationally possible. But the necessarily existing or the contradiction can be happening at the same time. It will contradict the meaning of necessarily existing, contradict the meaning of Godhead, contradict him. So God is a God and not God at the same time. And he will account to Yawm al-Qiyamah, he doesn't account at the same time. So everyone gets free. You don't need to bother about all of this. It just becomes like being in a mental institution. Anyone can say whatever he is, and he's right and he's wrong at the same time, and the other one is right and wrong at the same time. Does not make any sense. No need for any further argument. Even speaking does not make any sense anymore. So leave it. Forget about it. If that's what the Christian want in the price for having a son of God, fine. Then you say he is a son of God. That's true. We say he doesn't have a son. Well, that's also true. No problem. Everything goes. Yeah. That's the conclusion. There's no other conclusion based on the definition of necessarily existing. Or that is not the divine being that is necessarily existing, so it must be created. He and his son are all created by some other entity. Then we are going in infinite regress, the same issue which happens in the proof of the existence of Allah, that you have to end somewhere at the necessarily existing being. There is no escape. No infinite amount of contingent being will become ever necessarily existing. Never, ever. And this can be also analyzed in mathematical terms. So that's for example. But the common Christian will not see this point until you explain to him that he has to acknowledge or give up or whatever. The same, the fact that God is so good that he sacrificed his son, so why he doesn't sacrifice a little bit of the system of the universe and save us from tsunamis and anguish and Hitler and so on. That's a common, and this is valid for the Christian because this definition of goodness by them goes to the extreme and to justify that he sacrificed his son. I asked our Christian friends in Germany, okay, We said to atone for the inherited sin. What's the problem if he just forgives it? Why kill his own son? Why commit such a major crime? Is he unable, except through that? Then he is not